Hello, welcome to Criminal Law Section 801. I am Professor Rashla, and I am really looking forward to working with you guys this semester. Every time you launch our class, you will come to this homepage. It has my email and the link to my Zoom room. My Zoom office hours are Monday, Wednesday from 10 to 11:30. I do ask that you send me an email to let me know just so I can have the software up and running and things like that. So it'll be smooth and quick. To get started with course content, you just go ahead and click modules. And other than the first module, which has all of our syllabus and our assignments, is going to have this welcome video. Everything is organized for you by week. You will usually have a short video lecture between 15 and 30 minutes. You're going to have PowerPoint slides and an assignment for most weeks. So that's how the class will be organized. So let's take a quick look at our syllabus. Again, the syllabus starts off with my contact information. We are using a textbook, Samaha Criminal Law 12th edition. And the goals of this class are to kind of define the purpose and functions of criminal law, the limits of criminal law, and the elements of crimes. And this is a great foundational class if you go on to, this is criminal evidence procedure or constitutional issues in criminal justice. So this semester, you will have 3 exams. Each exam is worth 20 points. This is going to work out to be 20% of your grade. You're going to have 35 multiple choice and true-false questions, each worth half a point, and 1 short answer worth 2.5 points. You're going to have 40 minutes to complete each test. Each test will be open for 1 week, Monday through Friday. The first test is week 5, week 10, and then the last week of the semester. You are going to have 10 discussion boards throughout the semester. Each one's going to be for its own week. So 10 of the 16 weeks, you're going to have a discussion board with 1 point. And these are always going to be due on Friday. They are open for the entire semester. You can go through and complete them early if you would like. And then you're also going to submit 2 case briefs this semester. Each brief is worth 15 points. And more information is posted on Canvas, and we'll talk about this in just a minute. So the distribution of points, there's 100 points total, so everything can be made into a percentage for you. And then the next part of the syllabus deals with kind of some important resources and issues. I am asking for communication. If something comes up this semester, I understand that this is not a semester as normal. A lot of you might be doing all online classes for the first time. We might not all be on campus, things like that. So I just communicate with me as much as you can. And then if you have any religious holidays, please let me know. The Learning Center is going to be open for WebEx meetings. And then I am very committed to an inclusive classroom. For our purposes, in discussion boards, I do not want to see any comments that are racist or sexist or homophobic, that denigrate or insult people of religious faith or any group, okay? It's just not appropriate, and as we're learning how to be future criminal justice professionals, we need to treat everyone with kindness, respect, and dignity. There is a plagiarism statement. Do not plagiarize. You cannot write a paper for someone else. You cannot co-write a paper with somebody else. You should not turn in assignments from other classes. You should not use sources that you don't cite. I have a Students with Disabilities statement. If this applies to you, please reach out and make sure I get your letter. If you're interested in receiving accommodations for the first time, there's their email and their phone number. Ball State is really committed to a diverse faculty, staff, and student body, practicing values of respect and inclusion. If something happens to you in this class or on campus or another class, you can report that to this link and it will be fully investigated to the email or the link. The last part of the syllabus has the Cardinal Care Pledge that we're all taking about wearing our masks and caring for our campus community. And then the last page of the syllabus is our schedule at this point. You will see that every week you will have something due except for the week of Thanksgiving. So that's just kind of to help make sure we keep on track. We are going to work through the book in order in this class, which is not always the case with my classes. So we're going to just work through the concepts in order. The one exception to having a chapter in the textbook is week 13. We're going to talk about implicit bias and hate crimes. There is a link to a short PDF, about 16 to 18 pages, I think, about the psychological aspects of implicit bias and how that can lead to hate crimes. There's also some links to like the FBI and the Indiana resources on hate crimes. And some short TED Talk about what implicit bias means. So just kind of building in this idea of what these concepts mean and what they look like. And then on week 16, as you can see down here, we're only working through a couple of sections in the last couple chapters. These are just the sections that explain and define the crimes. The rest of the chapters are not as important, and you won't be tested on them. All right, the other thing I told you we'd talk about in a minute is we're going to talk about the case brief assignment. So you have two case briefs. So one's due October the 9th and one's due November 13th. You have to brief the cases I selected. Those cases are already posted on Canvas under week 7 and week 12 for you, as well as the citations listed. So your brief needs to be 1 page. You cannot go over. If you have friends that took this class with me in the past, this is a new change. So just be mindful that you have to stick to the page limit. These need to be typed in single space, 12-point font, 1-inch margins. You're going to use a professional tone, and proofreading is going to count as part of your grade. So you are writing to a lawyer who asked you to, can you get them some more information on this case? All right. Both of the cases you'll be reading come from the Indiana Supreme Court over the last couple of years. So they're recent cases. They deal with issues of criminal law. One is dealing with self-defense and one deals with stalking. I am aware that case briefs exist online. Everything will be run through VeriCite. If your score is higher than 12%, I will reach out to you and ask you to revise it so that it is more in your own words. This is how you should write your case brief. You're gonna, you don't have to identify yourself since it's coming through Canvas. You're in the center top of your page, you're gonna have a caption. So this is the case name, and the author, the Supreme Court, Indiana Supreme Court Justice who wrote the opinion, right in the center. The first section is gonna be the facts of the case. Write what happened in your own words. Was this person convicted? What were they convicted of? Then you're going to write 1 or 2 sentences in the form of a question of what the issue is. Why is this case in the Indiana Supreme Court? What was the significance? What's the issue? And then you're going to answer that under a section called holding in 1 to 2 sentences. And generally this should say, did this behavior constitute stalking is your issue. And your answer is going to say, yes, it is stalking. And that is sufficient to get an A on this brief. You can also put because and explain a little more. Then you're going to have your reasoning section. This is the reason why the behavior is stalking. This is where you tie in your facts to what happened to the law. So this person did these things. This is stalking under the definition of the Indiana law because explain to your reader why this is stalking and tie your facts together with it. You cannot quote from the opinion. You need to do this in your own words. This is actually a really important skill to learn how to put things in your own words. And if you think about it, a lot of criminal justice professionals write reports of the same event just from their own perspective. So if 3 police officers respond to a call, each police officer is going to write out their account of the events. One is usually going to be the primary officer, but the other ones are going to write supplemental reports of what happened in their own words. This is kind of a chance to work with that concept a little bit with you all working through the same case and writing it out in your own words. The reasoning section needs to be the longest section of your brief. If it is not, there will be a deduction. This reasoning section is what ties it all together. It's the most important part of your brief. It should be the longest. So here are a short list of don'ts. You cannot quote from the opinion. You need to summarize. Do not quote an outside source. The only source for this is the opinion from the Supreme Court that you got. You should not include your own opinion of the opinion. So you should not say, well, I think they got it wrong because, or shouldn't be cheering it on as a great opinion, because that's not what this assignment's for. This is, remember, you should kind of assume that you're a paralegal writing this for your boss, who's an attorney, okay? You cannot choose your own case. So if you do any of these things, you will have your points taken off. This is an example. Here's my name, here's the class, this is the name of the case that I did for this, which is different from the cases you're doing, obviously. Here is the citation, which would tell you how to find this case. Here's the justice who wrote the case. This is from the United States Supreme Court as well. Since I had you guys do Indiana, this is United States. You can see here's the facts of the case. You can see here's my reasoning, which is just a little bit longer, which is exactly what I'm asking you. My question is, there were 2 questions, and you can see, yeah, the answers are in sentence form, and the reason why. And this is the brief of the case that said that same-sex marriage would be legalized across the country. So that's kind of the issue is, does the 14th Amendment require states to let same-sex couples marry? And does it require them to recognize marriages of same-sex couples that occur in other states? The Supreme Court said yes. So my answer is yes, this 14th Amendment protects these fundamental liberties of marriage, and the denial of same-sex couples the ability to marry violates the Equal Protection Clause. And here's the reasons why. All right. So this is just kind of what yours should look like when you are done. Again, it's less than a page. If yours comes in at this length, that would be perfectly acceptable. If yours comes in all the way to the bottom of this page but stays on one page, that would also be perfectly acceptable. So that is the case brief assignment. You're going to do 2. This is the first case brief, Gammons Jr. v. Indiana. This is the actual case. This is your case citation number that's going to go under the name. So it's going to be Gammons v. Indiana, the case citation number, and then the author of the case, the Indiana Supreme Court Justice. And then briefly, your will be graded based on this rubric. Do you caption and format it? Is it the right length? Are there minimal spelling and grammar? Do you have a professional writing style? And then the biggest section is, did you understand what you were reading and put it in your own words? So that is the grading structure. The last part of this video, I just want to talk to you really quickly about the discussion board assignments. There are 10 of them. They're each worth 1 point. You will be graded on authoring a relevant post, including a page number from the textbook or a heading. I found this under blank, or a specific source if you went outside of the book. If I ask you a follow-up question, you need to respond to my question. And I will send you an email to try and prompt you to, hey, take a look. But you are not required to go through and respond to X amount of classmates. I also want to let you know that by and large, these discussion boards are going to be the types of questions that you will find on your exam as your one short answer question. So it's just kind of me giving you a chance to practice what your short answer should look like. So that is it as far as the introduction to the class, the syllabus, the assignments. I really love teaching this class. It's going to be great fun. There's some really fascinating cases that you're going to read through in your book. It will be a very interesting semester, and I am available anytime you need help.